Want to know everything about the new Cherry XTRFY MX 10.1 wireless, whether it's the best choice for gaming, streaming, or office use? Then you've come to the right place. In this comprehensive review, we take a detailed look at Cherry's new multi-connect model. For transparency, Cherry provided us with the keyboard free of charge for the review, without any specifications or influence. First, here are the most important facts and technical data in advance, clearly and concisely presented. You get a full-size, low-profile keyboard with an aluminum construction, in our case, black and with a US layout. The housing measures 427 by 134 by 27 millimeters and weighs around 1.1 kilograms. For you, this means high rigidity, stable footing, no slipping. The solid aluminum plate is immediately noticeable. Inside are Cherry's linear MX low-profile 2.0 red switches. This means no click, no noticeable resistance bump, just a smooth, even stroke. The manufacturer specifies an actuation force of 42 centinewtons. Roughly speaking, a light tap is enough, you don't have to strain your fingers. The pre-travel is 1.2 millimeters, the total travel is 3.2 millimeters. Classic high switches are often around 4 millimeters. Translated, early, fast triggering, and short travel. Good for quick input and long sessions because your fingers don't have to travel as far. The service life is designed for a good 100 million keystrokes, so even with heavy use, you'll be set for a long time. The keycaps are made of PBT with die sub legends. Advantage: very robust, classic color stability and less shine over the years. But that also means that the lettering does not shine through. The RGB lighting is a glow around the keys, not in the characters themselves. It looks clean but is less readable, especially in very low light. Many functions can be operated directly on the board using a rotary knob and the small LCD display, change profiles, control volume/media, adjust lighting/brightness, switch devices, check battery status. There are 3 profiles and 256 kilobits of memory on board, so your settings can travel with you. You have a number of connection options via tri-mode, classic wired via USB-C, wireless via 2.4 GHz radio, and Bluetooth for up to 3 devices. The wireless connection is encrypted with AES-128 and the response time is specified as 1 millisecond. The polling rates are up to 8,000 Hz via cable and up to 4,000 Hz via 2.4 GHz. This means that your inputs are sampled very frequently so that the keyboard itself does not become a bottleneck. Included in the box, the 4K dongle and a high-quality fabric-covered USB-A to USB-C cable. You can use the board with Windows, macOS, Linux, and Android. A 4,000 mAh battery ensures battery life without a wired connection. The manufacturer specifies up to 900 hours via Bluetooth without lighting display and a good 50 hours at 2.4 GHz with a high polling rate. How long it lasts for you depends, of course, on brightness and display usage, but we were able to get through a week without recharging with normal intensive use. Current price? The RRP is $249. Depending on the retailer and layout, it is currently available in stores for between $220 and $240, so now you know the basics. But let's move on to ergonomics and mechanics, including angle adjustment, speed and latency, what the high polling rates mean in practice and where they really help you. You're looking at a flat, full-size aluminum keyboard that immediately feels solid, measuring 427 by 134 by 27 millimeters and weighing around 1.1 kilograms. The MX 10.1 sits firmly on the table. The typing surface remains stable and there is no wobbling, even when typing quickly. The basic position is low. If you want more tilt, you can flip up the aluminum rail at the back. These are not wobbly plastic feet, but a stable bar that noticeably raises the angle. The layout is complete, but more compact. The arrow keys, block, and numpad are closer together. This takes a day or two to get used to, but rewards you with more space on your desk and shorter distances for your fingers to travel. The flat design relieves strain on your wrists. You can use a palm rest, but you don't have to. About speed, the manufacturer promises up to 8,000 Hz on the cable and 4,000 Hz over 2.4 GHz. Translated, this means that at 8 kHz, your input is reported every 0.125 milliseconds, and at 4 kHz, every 0.25 milliseconds. The higher the sampling rate, the less the keyboard itself contributes to the overall latency. You won't notice this in every menu. When typing on a website, it doesn't matter whether 1/8 or 1/4 of a millisecond passes. But in fast-paced scenes where reaction time and rhythm count, you're removing a potential bottleneck from the chain. Here's how to use it wisely without getting too technical. Plug in the cable if you want to get the most out of it and the cable doesn't bother you. Use the 2.4 GHz receiver if you want to stay free on the table and still need short response times. This is where the 4 kHz option comes in. Go for Bluetooth if battery life and device replacement are more important than every millisecond. This is perfectly fine for writing, editing, and surfing. And be realistic. A keyboard with a high sampling rate doesn't automatically feel faster if your game struggles with fluctuating frame times or your computer is under load. More hertz also cost more energy. If you're constantly transmitting at 4 kHz and turning up the lighting, plan for charging. If runtime is more important to you, dim the lights and display or switch to Bluetooth for long sessions. If you need maximum directness, go for the cable. The bottom line is that the MX 10.1 delivers exactly what you want in terms of ergonomics and mechanics if you write a lot and want to do some serious gaming in between. A stable, flat bass, a reliably adjustable angle, and a compact, full-featured layout without any bells and whistles. When it comes to speed and latency, you get the options, not the obligation. You decide whether precision, freedom, or endurance is your priority, and the keyboard does a clean job in each of these modes. The typing feel is clear and easy to understand. You press a key, it glides down without resistance, triggers early, and returns cleanly. Linear really means linear here. No click, no noticeable bump halfway down. The 42 centinewtons means roughly you don't have to exert yourself. A relaxed press is enough, even if you're typing for hours or need to type quickly in a game. The pre-travel of 1.2 mm is just over a millimeter. By then, the command has already been registered. The total travel of 3.2 mm is shorter than that of classic high switches, which is around 4 mm. The result? Your fingers travel less distance, input is quick and easy, and fatigue sets in later. If, on the other hand, you're expecting a noticeable click now or an audible clicky, this isn't the character you're looking for. This is about speed and quiet, not tactile analysis in the key. When it comes to sound, the MX 10.1 remains unobtrusive. The bass tone is muted, the aluminum plate keeps the typing bed quiet, and linear low-profile switches do not tend to rattle. Longer keys, such as Enter, Shift, and especially the spacebar are, due to their design, always the first place where noise occurs. In some cases, you may notice a slight rattling of the spacebar. Not loud, but audible if you pay attention. This is not a defect, but rather a matter of fine-tuning. What matters to you is that the overall impression is quiet to moderate, well-suited for office use, and you will hear exactly that in the audio sample, without effects or tricks. The keycaps are made of PBT with die sub legends. This is the robust version. The surface does not get greasy so quickly, the lettering stays clean, and the caps retain their shape even after a lot of use. The price of this durability is a conscious choice. The legends do not glow through. The RGB effects are a halo of light around the keys, not in the characters themselves. If you work in bright light or with light desk lighting, this is not an issue. If you often type in almost dark rooms and rely on illuminated lettering, you should be aware that you will need to rely on ambient light here. If you like a calm, tidy look and touch typing, this concept is a great fit. When it comes to connections and switching devices, there are no surprises, just speed without detours. The MX 10.1 runs in tri-mode, USB-C for wired operation, 2.4 GHz wireless with the included 4K dongle, and Bluetooth with up to 3 paired devices. You can switch modes directly on the board using the rotary knob and display, where you can also see which mode you are currently using and how the battery is doing. This is where the keyboard delivers on its promise. You don't have to search for a menu or remember key combinations. You switch modes, it follows, done. For short response times, use the dongle. For maximum freedom and long battery life, use Bluetooth. And if you want to get the most out of it, connect the cable. When you put it all together, a clear profile emerges. Light, early trigger point, quiet sound, robust caps with a deliberate absence of illuminated legends, and a connection range that covers the 3 typical situations in life. This is exactly how a tool should feel when you don't have to reconfigure it for writing in the morning and gaming in the evening. The software stays discreetly in the background, which is exactly how it's designed to be. You can create profiles, reassign keys, set macros, and control the lighting and effects. For the display, you can load simple content, adjust brightness and behavior, and see the mode, profile, and battery at any time. The important stuff happens directly on the board via the rotary knob. The utility is the tool for everything you set up once and then leave alone. Officially, the software is available for Windows. The keyboard itself runs on Windows, macOS, Linux, and Android, but we won't go into platform details because it doesn't change our verdict. Its strength lies in on-device operation, not endless driver menus. The conclusion is clear. You get a flat, full-size aluminum device that feels stable under your fingers, is easy to trigger quickly, and guides you quickly through profiles, devices, and lighting with buttons and a display, with the freedom to use a cable to get the most out of everything or choose between 2.4 GHz and Bluetooth wireless. The deliberate compromises are no illuminated legends, only linear switches, no hot swapping. The decision check in a nutshell: if you want a quiet, fast, low-profile board that feels mature to use and can control multiple devices without gymnastics, then the MX 10.1 wireless is a very strong choice. If, on the other hand, illuminated characters, tactile or clicky switches or frequent switch changes are more important to you than anything else, you'd better look elsewhere. But what do you think of the Cherry Wireless 10.1? Solid aluminum full-size keyboard, or are you looking for something more visually striking? Let me know in the comments, in our daily Twitch live streams, or on our Discord. Until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.